going? Thank you for checking out Sage AI, and in this video I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to use the platform as well as the layout. So if you look here, I'm already signed in. I'm right here on the home page and I already have a few projects that I'm working on. This will be the main area that you use when working on projects. And as you can see here, there's suggested projects up top and then a list going downward of the recent projects you've worked on. It also lists the user, so because I'm the one that made all of them, it says that I'm the primary user, but if other members of your team have made them and shared them with you, then they'll show up as the primary user. And if you look over here on the left, there's a few other sections of also how to show and display your projects. So we have recent, favorites, and shared. So those will be the recent project you've worked on, the ones you favorited. So in this case, I only have 5, but let's say I had like 50 or so. Then I could favorite some of the more recent ones I need to work on, the ones I need to have prioritized, and those will be under favorites. Then also under shared, those will be strictly the projects that have been shared with you by your fellow employees. And now I'll show you how to use the project capabilities and also a quick rundown of how the project section of the platform is laid out. So over here you can see, hey, I've got a couple different reports I've been working on already. So if I come over here and click new project, it'll now populate untitled project, and it's at the top of your list so you could easily find it. You click untitled project. Now we're in the actual project platform section of the Sage AI platform, where now here we could go up top and we have a few different options here. So we could change the title of our platform. We have a Word doc here that we could work in and write whatever we need to. We could share our platform, and we could also create new sections of documents here down at the bottom. So let's do all this quick. So here, let's say we do an example on Tesla. So call this Tesla project. Now over here, just like a normal Word doc, let's use a heading and call this Tesla project overview. And then now, because we're a collaborative team, we're going to share this with other people that we work with as well. So over here, the only other team member I have right now is Sage Support. So I'm going to share this right now with Sage Support. And then now it's shared with my team members. So now we could all collaborate on this project together simultaneously. Now, if you look here at the bottom, you can see, hey, it's called Untitled Document. We could simply change this to Overview. Now we could also add multiple. So let's call this one, let's say, Revenue Overview. And then call this one Operating Risks. Okay. So now you could see, hey, we got a couple different documents we could work on. Only the first one has this text we've typed in. The other ones are effectively brand new Word documents, and this just allows you to consolidate all 3 into one convenient location. So that way, hey, if I want to work on it piecemeal and one section at a time, you don't have to scroll back and forth between a million documents. You just have them separated out here if you choose to do so. And it's also quick access here. If you have a bunch of tabs, just like in Excel, you're able to quickly comb through them using this feature on the left. And now the real main point of Sage is not just having a fancy word processor. Really, the core capabilities that we provide are these AI capabilities listed on the left and our Ask Sage platform on the right. So we'll get into that in a second. But over here, you could see, hey, we've got these abilities to pull in valuable company information on the left. So over here, let's go to pull in SEC documents. And it's also worth noting too, if you click this bottom button, it gives you a way to upload a source document. So here, let's say that if I wanted to pull in, let's say if I'm working on a merger acquisition, or if I'm working for a private client and I'm looking to see if they're worth looking into, I could pull in some private company information here as well, depending on the situation. So it's just as simple as uploading files here. But we're not doing that today. Today, we're just working on public companies. So let's look at Tesla. So we'll pull in their ticker. And now you can see here, some of their public SEC filings are listed. We've got their 2022 10K right here. So let's pull that one in since it's got the most information we could use. And so now we'll close that up, and you can see here right under project files, great. Now the Tesla 10K is pulled in for our purposes. We're able to use this to create these documents. So now we've got all the information we need pulled in. And it's also worth noting too that we could also pull in some industry reports as well. So you could pull in Tesla's case, maybe you could pull in some information on, let's say, manufacturing in the US. you're able to pull in more information to help inform your equity research report. But in this case, we'll just stick with just Tesla. So over here, we could say, let's say we're trying to talk about some of the revenue growth drivers of Tesla. So let's just write Tesla revenue growth drivers. So now what this is doing is it's running through that 10K and it's able to pull in all the necessary information on Tesla's revenue growth. Anything that mentions Tesla's revenue growth, anything that's slightly related, it's looking through it, it's scanning it for key information, it's throwing it into our trained LLM model, and it's allowing it to synthesize all of the potential points so you'll get a succinct synthesized version of what exactly Tesla's revenue growth drivers are. So in this case, hey, we could just quickly hit a Tesla revenue growth drivers title. And then now over here, you're able to click on this bottom section and now bam, now it's automatically copied over where now everything is just instantly formatted. It's instantly laid out. And it's very easy to read and copy it into your real Excel or your real Microsoft Word document here where you'll actually fill out your equity research report. So you can see here the results are pretty solid. You'll get, it's saying what are Tesla's revenue growth drivers that are included in the following. You have vehicle sales, energy generation and storage, services and other revenue, regulatory credits, technology and software, and expansion to new markets. So it really gives you a solid sentence overview with a few sentences for each point, and it allows you to just get a brief summary of what the main drivers of Tesla are, and it gives you just a brief overview that you can include as a first draft kind of for this section of your equity research report. So let's do another example here. Let's say that you wanted to do, let's say, main operating risks. So now again, it's giving you a very thorough analysis. It's going through every single page of the 10K and it's pulling out exactly the information you're looking for, and it's synthesizing it. Maybe it takes 10 pages of information and consolidates it down to half of a page of useful information in its own words that are accurate. It doesn't hallucinate and it doesn't pull in any unnecessary information. So it allows you to be sure that it's accurate and that it's, again, not giving you any false information. So again, just create a new title, main operating risks, and when you pull that in, it gives you 6 of the main problems that Tesla might have with its operations. So you can see how you could apply this to any potential question. You could pull in numerous documents. We just pulled in the 10K for simplicity, but you could pull in a whole lot more. You could pull in quarterly reports. You could pull in earnings updates. You could pull in really anything you could think of that's company specific, whether it's public or private. And again, Sage is entirely private. We're a full end-to-end encrypted model. So that way you're able to be sure that none of this information is being leaked or anything, and there's no potential for breach. And we're using the latest state-of-the-art technology in order to make sure it's secure. So really, this is a tool to help you get to that first draft faster, where you could take this information and you could just go from there and be able to create your deliverables so much faster than you have in the past. And that's why we've been able to help a few number of firms cut more than 40% off of their entire engagement process, because once they really have a system down like this, then they're able to create their projects much, much faster. And again, really, they're able to just go in and add certain things, change sections, summarize things like they would want to for their company specific needs. And it really allows them to just cut off hours every single day of their process. And in the future, we're actually looking for the next update, just giving you a few different pointers for what's coming up on the horizon. We're looking to add what's called a report builder section, where effectively you'll be able to screen out and build out a report. So you'll be able to show, hey, all right, I want to ask, like for instance, like in this report, we have overview, revenue growth, and operating risks. So we'll be able to screen out and say, hey, I want to ask this question, this question, and this question in the overview. So let's say maybe I want the business description, how the stock's done in the last couple years, and maybe a little bit about the management team on overview. Then under revenue growth, you could list out, hey, I want questions on what the main drivers of revenue are, what the main risks of revenue are, maybe some of the potential outlooks for the next few years. You could add that underneath any of these sections. And then for operating risks, let's say you want to add in things like, hey, what are some of the main operating risks? What are some of the bottlenecks that could happen with the firm operating wise it would cause it to have impeded growth. You can list out anything you could think of and build out a report. So now this could be your template report that now you just type in other tickers and you apply it there. So you could say, hey, I want to use this same report format, not just for Tesla, but maybe for Apple or Microsoft or NVIDIA. And then you're able to just quickly, just in a click of a button, generate an entire report for your company that you're looking to cover. So again, it can just really be useful for getting you to that first draft much, much faster.